simple, easy layout here. Bend it, slide the swivel down, and clamp it closed. These frogs are absolutely ridiculous. Now that is a fish, people, right there. Here's the release. Beautiful fish. Hey guys, J-Town Bassman here with you. In my bathroom. You might think that's kind of funny, but I have a good purpose for it. Today I'm just going to show you how some lures look in water. Alright, the first bait we got today for you to show you is the Super Finesse Worm by Strike King. It's a 7-inch straight tail worm, but it's got the Elastec in it, so it's really stretchy, as you can see. And what I got is rigged it up on a 1/4-ounce Strike King jig head. Look like that, you know. Okay, just basic rig, shaky heading. So let's show you what it just looks like in the water. So first, when I drop this in the water here, as you can see, the tail does float. Because of the jig I have it on, the jig sits flat on the bottom, but the worm does float, and it has a really nice action. As you can see, however I pop it around and jerk it, the tail goes pretty wild. And if I just kind of shake it, switch it, that tip gets going pretty good, and it works pretty nice. Alright folks, now I got rigged up as the Subwoofer by Berkeley Havoc Baits on that same jig head. I rigged it like a swim bait, and to show you this one, I'm just going to kind of jig it around for a little bit, and then I'll swim it around really fast to show you how fast the tail goes. But as you can see, that tail really does whip around on that bait when I jig it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when you swim it really fast. I mean, I can feel the vibration, and you can see it in the water when I come up to the surface like that. You can definitely see that there's a vibration. That tail, and then on top water, like that, it makes a good noise, and it really displaces a lot of water. That's just the action I was looking for in this bait, and I think it's going to be a really good one this season, especially on a Alabama rig, or just jerk baiting. Show you just like a kind of what it would be like if you jerked it, just kind of. And I bet weightless this thing is killer, but right now I just got it on a jig head, and it does pretty good. So that's the Subwoofer Iconelli design. Good bait if you want to look for something new for this year. Pick this up. It's a good bait. You can see now what it looks like in the water, and it works pretty well. So take this one off, and we'll throw on another one. Alright, so here we got the new 2013, the Lake Fork Tackle Live Boot Tail Magic Shad. This bait is got a great action to it. I got it rigged up on that 1/4-ounce jig head once again, and what we're doing is just slow swimming that thing. I mean, I'm barely moving it, and it has a lot of action. And if you're swimming fast, it really throws that water. It looks really good, folks. I mean, I'm just barely moving this thing, and it's just nice little swim to it. Then when I swim it fast, it has that boot tail really kicks it. I mean, just barely moving it, and it's still moving, which is exactly what you're looking for in a swim bait. So on those really slow days, you can just slow roll this thing and really get a lot of action out of it. So that's the Lake Fork Tackle Boot Tail Magic Shad. Looks great, rigged up on a 1/4-ounce jig head. One more time, I'll just show you. Real nice action on that. So take this buddy off, and we'll get another one on and show you some more cool baits. Alright folks, now we got rigged as the Sick Fish by Havoc again, new for 2013. This bait is great action. Let me show you here. See that tail swimming around? That realistic tail. Killer action. Looks like a real fish swimming. It's like a subtle boot tail. It looks really good. I'm really impressed with that action. Can't wait to use this bait more out in the water. It's going to be a good bait this year. It's going to catch a lot of fish. I'm so excited. So what I'm going to do, we're going to pause. We're going to get another bait up. Alright folks. Got a new lure tie down here. What I got here is the Strike King Space Monkey. Basically 2 sets of rage claws. This is a killer bait, folks. If you can see that, those claws are kicking. Come down here just so I can get you a better representation of it. When you're reeling this in really fast, you're going to get tons of vibration from those claws, and then you can even go slow. Jig this thing. That jig trailer will be crazy. Those claws kicking. It's gonna be a good bait. Again, that's the Rage Space Monkey by Strike King and Green Pumpkin. Good bait. I recommend you try it if you haven't. And so I'm gonna take this buddy off, and we'll get another one on. All right, the next bait we got here is the Ugly Otter by Gambler. It's a really nice beaver style bait. Killer action on this one. It's a good beaver flip for flipping, as well as a good jig trailer with the appendages on the back, the otter tails. That's why it's called the Ugly Otter. So what you don't know about these, if you didn't know, these tails you can cut and make them into speed tails. Oh, I just ripped it off. Oh well. I meant to just rip it so it. But it's missing one. But there's a good action on it, and it works really good. If you wanted to, you could actually rip these off. I just thought about that now. I'm actually gonna try this. Is rip off these 2 side ones and just have the main flapper, and then if you wanted to, you could cut a let's see if I can do this, if I can cut a speed worm into it. I just modified this here as a speed tail now, so you can make this actually a speed beaver if you wanted to, and put this on the back of a jig, and a swim jig, and it'd be killer, folks. Yeah, I'll show you what I did. I just ripped off the 2 side otter tails, and then I cut a tail in just like that. That's gonna give you the speed part of the speed worm, just like this. And you can top water it as well. But it's a pretty nice speed worm too. A speed otter, if you want to call it that. That's a good idea. They should make that. But just came up with that right now, folks. So we're looking at that there, and that's a good bait. So try it out, and try the speed worm thing, like I said. And if you want to, you could even cut the speed worm slits in all 3, and it'd be killer action. Triple speed worm. So I'm going to take this one off, and we'll try another one. Alright, so right here I got a Rage Craw, and I got it rigged up with a 2/0 VMC hook and a 3/16 ounce bullet. As you can see, the action very similar to that of the Space Monkey. That's because the Space Monkey has 2 sets of Rage Tail claws, of Rage claws. And this bait is really nice. You can see the action on the claws. You reeling this in fast or slow, however you want. You can Texas rig it, you can jig it as on a jig trailer, shaky head, it all works for this. It's a good bait. That's why I like them. So check them out if you haven't. I'm gonna change it up now here. We're gonna go right to a jig I just got recently. It's called the Berkeley Finesse Jig by Ike. And on top of that, with the jig trailer, I have the Konami bait Psycho Dad. This is a great combination, folks. I do recommend you get this if you jig fish. Now, if you can see that, right now, this jig, I'm just slowly hopping it. Man, this is only a 1/4 ounce jig. Now what's awesome about this is that those claws on that Psycho Dad stand up in defense mode just like a crawfish would. And with that jig, the way that skirt poofs out like that gives awesome action. You can see those claws standing up, and if I just slowly twist this, those claws move. That's exactly what we're looking for a great jig trailer, is action. And those claws give us tons of action. And they float, which is where they get all the action from. And this is just a great overall presentation right here. This combination of the Berkeley Finesse Jig by Mike Iaconelli and the Konami baits, which are made by Gary Yamamoto, Psycho Dad. Perfect color as well, green pumpkin combination here. And I'm just going to show you a little hop in here. So I pitch this out here. I do a 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. As you can see, those claws get twitching. I mean, they vibrate with every twitch of the line here, of the rod tip. And they stand straight up in defense mode, just like a crawfish would. That poops out, that skirt poops out. It's a great jig, guys. I do recommend that you pick this one out. So that's that combination, and then I'm going to switch now to another bait, and then that'll wrap up our showing of some cool baits in water, so you can see actually how they act. So I hope you're enjoying this, and we'll stay. Alright folks, the last bait I want to show you tonight is the Brush Hog by Zoom in bullfrog color. I've never fished one of these before, but judging by the action on here, I know I'm going to get a lot of bass off of these. What's cool about these is when you jig them and they hit the bottom, they stand up for a little bit and they do a slow fall, which is different than any other bait. They do kind of stand there, but when they hit the bottom, they just kind of do this and then they lean. The twirlers twirl here, the little tails. Show you that. There you go. There's that. And then the appendages all move. Just giving this a great punching bait, or pulling through some heavy cover, or even just jigging off top of beds. It's going to be a good bait for spring, I believe, and I'm really going to like it. So that's the Brush Hog, and I showed you some pretty other good baits, that the Space Monkey, the Ugly Otter, Rage Craw, the Space Monkey, and the Super Finesse Worm, along with some swim baits like the Sick Fish and the Lake Fork Boottail Magic Shad. All great baits that you got to see how they look in the water now, so maybe influence your decision on if you're wondering if you want to pick them up or not. So I hope this was helpful. If you want to see some more baits in the water, some more action, let me know. I appreciate it. And if you did like this, please let me know as well, because I'll be sure to make some more then. So you can really see the action of these baits in water. Got tons of baits, tons of time, so we'll show you what they look like. Just some different video. I've never seen anybody do this before, in a bathtub anyway. So we'll see if you like it or not, and I hope you do. I hope this was helpful. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, be safe fishing and have fun.